I've been in hundreds of programs, passing out candies, really big game. What do you think?
Of interest. There was a family member hired that I just wasn't made aware of, wasn't disposed of, so, but I will make a motion to approve the minutes, or the March financials, excuse me.
Second.
Yes. Laura? Yes. Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes. And then moving on to April minutes. Any discussion on April minutes?
Not for me.
Okay. I just got my minutes and my financials when I came in. I did make a trip up this morning at 9:30 and there wasn't anything in the box. So I haven't had a chance to look at them.
All right, so we'll go over these at our next scheduled meeting, if everyone has a chance to review. All right, moving on to communications. I know Nancy, you mentioned having something.
Yes. It's the Southeast Football Organization wants to rent a hall to have a fundraiser.
They want to do a night at the races.
This is Southeast Football.
Football.
Okay.
And she wanted to know what we were going to charge. Now, we've been charging $50.
I think the question was because it was a fundraiser, but it is for the school.
It is.
So the question is, do we want to charge 50 or we charge more for fundraisers typically? That's the special rate is the 50.
The 50 is the
Is
special.
the special rate. Do we want to allow the $50 for the school to have a night at the races here?
What do we charge the band? 50? Okay. When the band had night at the races, I think it should be the same.
I think so too, and it's for the school, even though it is
It's
a
for the
fundraiser
school.
for the kids.
Yes.
So I would be okay with that. Add any
Yeah.
comments or concerns
I'm
on
okay with
that?
that.
Well, I'll make a motion that we charge the school the $50 minimum price for the fundraiser.
I'll second that.
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes. We continue on with communications.
Do you have any, Tracy?
No, I'm good.
I have a couple here. This is a Portage County Solid Waste Management District, which I am a member of the board. We had some meetings and everything. They came up with waste management plan update May until June 19, 2025. This is a 2026 draft plan. It's available. They're asking for people to look this over. If they have any comments, they're providing a written comment to Donna Collins, who's the director of Portage County Solid Waste. And I just received this. So you guys don't have a copy probably, but that's what that is. And I wanted to bring that up, that people do have a right to question it, make comments about it in writing. It is on their website to do that.
Okay.
If not, it will be approved at the next board meeting for the solid waste district. After the period.
Would you mind passing on a copy when we're done?
No, I will absolutely give a copy.
Thank you. All right. Any other communications?
Yes,
Oh, you've got a few.
just these two.
Okay.
I could do this in the fire department, I might as well do it now. There's a new movement going on to start a joint fire district. There was a meeting about 3 weeks ago, which I did attend at Edinburgh up there. I was invited to attend. Only one trustee is allowed to attend them just for the conflict of interest for sunshine laws. At that meeting, they came up with a proposal. They want at least, four districts. They want Palmyra, Edinburgh, Deerfield, and Charleston, Paris, to be a member of this fire district and everything. I did invite them to our June meeting to do a presentation on this. I didn't commit one way or another to that. Some of the things I learned at the meeting were they're going to ask us and the other departments for at least $8,000 for a feasibility survey. What I'm getting from this, if we move forward with this and if this fire district becomes a reality, they're going to be in charge of all fire-related and EMS-related in our townships. They want us to provide a list of all our equipment and everything we have, right down to hoses, the value of it and all that. If we decide to join this, and it's just, in my opinion, it's up to the citizens. I'm trying to present this as neutral as I can. I've got my own feelings about it, but they're going to come and do a presentation. Some of the things that I did find out at the meeting, they will take over all of our equipment. We'll have to sign it all over to them. Levies we have right now will probably end, if I understand it correctly, but there will be a levy then for the fire districts that will have to pass. They may or may not use any of the people we currently have. They may or may not use any of our chiefs. They will appoint a board of directors that they will appoint. They will appoint chiefs if they want in there, assistant chiefs, officers. They'll set rates of pay, insurance, hours. They'll decide when they're going to set it, someone's building, whatever, waiting for a fire to come in or a wreck to come in or whatever. This is something that's been talked about a long time. There is another meeting May 28th. I will go to it if you guys don't want to. I don't really want to. Again, I'm trying to present this as neutral as I can. My opinion is this is a resident decision, which in my opinion would need to be put on the ballot. We're going to lose our equipment. We're going to lose our individual fire status. If they don't want to place anybody in our building or whatever, we don't have any coverage other than from Edinburgh or Palmyra or whatever. It's just, there's a we're very short in the beginning right here. We're just now finding out about this as our township. There are a couple other townships that have been doing this for a long time. They've got a lot of answers, a lot of dreams, a lot of ideas. The fact that they want us to put up at least $8,000 for a feasibility study before we ever even know this will move forward, that's a lot of money.
I think right now there's just a lot of information we don't have yet.
We don't have a lot of information. That was a very brief meeting, maybe an hour. They just went over things like that. Like I said, I did invite, there were people that are going over this to come to our June meeting and do a short presentation on it. Palmyra has a meeting coming up here in the very near future.
Tomorrow night at 6
It is a
o'clock.
public meeting.
It's
Anyone
open.
from our township can attend and listen to the presentation prior to next month. I'll probably go to it and listen to what they have to say. If you guys want, that's fine too. I mean, I just... So anyway, I'm just presenting it that there's something they're looking into. I know they're going to ask for that. A couple of the townships pushing forward very hard to get this. I'm not saying I'm for it or against it, but there's a lot of unanswered questions.
There's a lot of good and a lot of bad that come with it, a lot to consider. But
Yes.
we just don't have all the information yet. I think it's very preliminary.
So, that's that. If anybody has any questions, I'll try to answer them, but I don't have much information.
The meeting tomorrow night is,
All the different meetings coming up, at least one of our trustees, all three of you should have.
All three of us can't. Only one of us can because of sunshine laws, but that's what I'm saying.
No, but you can, each of you can go to one meeting, one at a time.
yeah, I'm
So
going to
that
go to
all-
the meeting
And they're gonna
tomorrow
come
night.
and speak, give us the same spiel that they are to the other townships, but it's definitely good to hear it more than once, so you get more information. The more you hear it, the better.
Right.
Right.
The
But
one
they are
tomorrow
gonna have
night
a
is in
meeting
Palmyra.
once a month for each of the townships.
Right.
So, again, I will go to them. The next one is May 28th. I will go, unless one of you guys want to go to it. I'll make sure we are represented if one of you guys can't go or don't want to go, just so someone's there from our township.
Yeah.
Only one of us can go to these because it is a
It's a
advertised
planning.
meeting, a planned meeting, so only one of us can go, or it's a violation of sunshine laws.
But what about the Palmyra meeting tomorrow night?
That's just a public meeting.
That's
That's just a public meeting, as long as we don't sit up there and throw
long as
our
we're
throw
not
our opinion
deliberating.
out there as a group of how we think and
Right.
everything, just information. Am I right to say that that probably wouldn't be a problem, just to attend,
Not a problem.
observing,
Right.
okay? That's my opinion, so that's all I have in that, that's all the communications I have.
Any other communications? Going once, going twice. All right, do we have anyone signed up today for public commentary?
Yes.
We do.
The first one is John Clark from Project Promise.
Along with Cali. Along with Cali.
Oh, with Callie, okay.
Hello folks, how are you? I'm not a public speaker, I'm just a regular person, and I live in Garrettsville, have 98 acres, and we're here to talk a little bit about the property tax issues that's going on. And you may have heard in the news. I, for one, am a patriot. I believe in our freedoms, and I believe that we should be able to have a home and not have to worry about government taking it away from us. And how we go about to make that happen is out there for us to come together and form as we the people to figure things out. So currently, if you get behind on your property taxes, government can come and they can take your property away. Personally, I don't believe that's not right. That you can just come and take, health reasons, job reasons, elderly. When you just get set with a particular income and that's all you get, you have nothing else coming through when you're retired. How are you gonna make these increasing property taxes, the payments on? So we are trying to get something passed where there is no property tax. I don't care your age, but there's no property tax. We're getting things together and going and trying to get to the state and get this constitutional.
We have a constitutional amendment, and it's already been approved by our Attorney General. Somebody's shaking their head, so they're well aware. Dave Yost, they've approved it. My name's Callie Roberts. Project Promise is a 501c4 nonprofit that believes in community service, education reform, education outreach, and legislation reform. And so this property tax constitutional amendment is right in our wheelhouse. We had a great awareness project around March where we had 300 people in a room to talk about property tax reform. And we had a summit educating where we took a lot of the community's questions. And one thing, if you visit our website, projectpromiseportage.com, I'm going to be passing out some cards and some literature for you. We'd like you to be part of this constitutional amendment. Sign your name. It's coming up. We have the first phase already done where those signatures were passed by our Attorney General Dave Yost, but we have the next phase, phase 2, where we're going to need all of you and where we would need you, the township. We would love an opportunity to come and talk with you because I'm sure there's questions about, immediately when you say property tax reform, people think you are going to go after our wonderful firefighters and defund schools, and that's not at all what this is about. This is about trying to find an equitable way, a fair way for all of us. There's a lot of questions at hand. We'd love to be able to come back at a future date and answer it. Some of it can be found on our website. And another thing we're doing is we're doing the Voices of Portage County. You can visit our website now, and you'll see people like Lou on our website, a man talking about how property taxes have impacted him. He has a wife with 2 forms of cancer, and he's not able to afford his house anymore. And we are taking the voices of people like Lou. He talks about how their solution is move his sick wife. Move his sick wife. That's the answer. And he gives a very emotional plea on our website. It's a minute-long video. We are getting videos of people like you. If you want to step forward, we don't have to use your name or your face. We will take your stories and try to make impact with our people in Columbus and even trying to bring awareness to this constitutional amendment that will definitely take hold. Probably we'll be looking at signatures around June. It's now going to Mr. Rowe, our Secretary of State. Dave Yost has already approved. It goes for 8 days to the next phase, and then after that it comes back to us where we go for the state of Ohio to try to make it a ballot issue. Can just by a raise of hands, how many people have been impacted by property taxes? Have you? And does anybody want to speak out, just briefly, about anything, just right here in this forum, good or bad? How are we dealing? Are people concerned that you hear this and you think, now you're going to take away our first responders and our schools? Do people think that that's going to happen? Because we don't feel that's going to happen. There's already mechanisms in place and that won't happen. And I will tell you, as a member of Project Promise, that will not happen. That is not ever our intention to go after schools or our first responders, and we thank you for your service. Anything else?
Happy belated Mother's Day.
So please check our website, projectpromiseportage.com. I'm going to be giving you all business cards. We'd love for you to be a part and learn more about what's going on. We'll pass out this information for you.
One question. Now, is this, you want to get rid of the state property taxes?
We want to make it for the state of Ohio. We are only working on this county and Summit County to get petition signatures.
But I mean, there are some states that do not have property tax as a state. But there's always local taxes to, like county taxes.
Currently, there are no states that have done away with it now, but there's a lot of states that want to do it because right now, home ownership is kind of a fallacy. They say you own your home, but if you fall behind with paying taxes, they can take it even if it's paid.
What are they going to do? Will they do a personal property tax?
There's a lot of mechanisms in place, and we would love to talk about townships in particular because you all have needs, and we as a state, we want to be kind of a mechanism that talks as we try to get awareness to this because we can do sin taxes. There's mechanisms in place for income taxes. There's lots of ways that you can do it already that are already set up. But there's some creative mechanisms we can all have as well to do away with it and also make sure our firefighters and our schools are protected. So that's the goal, is how can we have that dialogue and make this happen and be fair? So that's an important thing to understand. We're not pie in the sky. We want to all work together and see what all the needs are and make sure that our state representatives know it and also make that part of the amendment.
I'm familiar with the Project Promise and Summit Company. Are you affiliated?
We are, we're Project Promise supported. But we have been doing some work at Summit as well.
And just so people know, Project Promise, yes, it needs to. They just didn't come out of nowhere and start Project Promise. How many years?
We've been
has
since
Project
2020. We've been since 2020, and one of the things we've done is we made a memorial for the firefighters in Ravenna. We have given out backpacks to schools. We have been part of the home, helping our homeless. We've given awareness to human trafficking. Sextortion. We've been working with sextortion awareness. We have been in community centers educating our youth. We have done a lot in our small time. Thank you, Ed, for saying that. Ed has been a very supportive force, celebrating us from our very beginnings. We were kind of a group of just concerned citizens.
Yeah, just like you guys.
Just like all of us, like you guys, and we decided, what can we do to move the needle to make our corner of the world better than we found it? And that's through issue advocacy, community service, and legislation reform. So we thank you very much for this opportunity. Please check out our website. We do have amazing videos. We have our own production team that goes out in the community, and we make awareness on the issues that impact Portage County. So please check us out. I'll be passing this out.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for coming
Thank
out.
you. Thank you. We have those?
Anybody else in the public speak?
No, that's it. That's it.
So we do have a guest here today, Attorney Tom McCarty from the prosecutor's office. And I would love to turn things over to you if you are ready to get started.
Well, it appears that today's hearing cannot go forward because proper notice was not given of this hearing in the notice given to the public. The open meetings statute requires that there be notice given to the public so the public knows what is going to be heard at any particular public meeting, because that was not done when the notice was given of this hearing. That is, the hearing on the issues that I was going to address. Because that was not in that notice that was given to the public, we're not going to go forward today. That would be a disservice to the community and to the parties. So, we're going to have to come back later.
It was our understanding to have it at our next regular scheduled meeting. What particularly is it that we need to make sure happens for next time?
The notice of the monthly meeting must contain a notice that any particular matters to be addressed at the meeting are included in that notice. So we were aware, I guess, at the last meeting that a hearing would take place at this meeting concerning the employment action that's to be addressed. But because that was not included in the notice, we got to wait another month, or unless there's a special meeting called, but I don't see that happening. I don't see the need for that happening. We're just going to have to wait a month.
So when you say notice, can you be more specific?
Yes, when you give public notice, and I'm assuming you do so with the website, the township website. In that website, you advertise to the community, actually to the world, that there is going to be a meeting on the second Monday of the month. Here's the date, here's the time, here's the place, and this is what we're going to hear. And all those things must be included in the notice. And if they don't give notice of that hearing in that fashion, it is deficient. And so anything we would have done today without proper notice is a nullity, is what they say in the law. It's a nullity. It doesn't count. It isn't going to stand, so why waste our time?
Okay. I don't know that the board was aware of that. We have the meetings posted on the website. We don't put an agenda, and I guess a hearing would need to be special eventually added to that is what, I just want to make sure to clarify.
Yes. That you don't need it necessarily as an agenda item so much as you need to put on that notice. At this hearing, we are going to hear this issue.
Okay.
And however you convey that to the citizenry, that's where you put it.
And because of the new rules, we no longer have to post that in the newspaper, it just has to.
That's correct.
Publicly.
Yeah, one of three ways, one of which is, of course, your township website.
Okay,
There's another way in which you can create a particular website following some state guidelines. You don't need to do that, you just do it the easy way. Put it in your website.
And we'll post it on our public electronic billboard at the circle, too.
Also a good idea, the more the merrier. You can put it in your township offices on a bulletin board,
right.
so much the better.
And then that needs to have some kind of postmark proof that that was posted, I would assume.
Sorry?
Some kind of date marked proof that that was posted on the website, just from reading the news.
You have to be able to attest to the fact that proper notice was given. If that becomes an issue, essentially whomever it is that creates the notice and puts it on the website is the person who will have to swear out an affidavit saying, on this date, I posted a notice of this hearing. And that's good enough for the law.
Okay.
Okay?
So June 9th.
Any other questions? Okay.
Will you be available June 9th if we do it at our next meeting, which would be June 9th?
Yes,
Yeah, that's fine with me.
You'll be available?
I'll be available.
June 9th, 6 o'clock.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that being said, do we need to make a motion?
Well, this involves people. Is everyone who is a party to this hearing available on June 9th? Lindsay, Scott, everyone available? Okay. Scott, you're available. So I will make a motion that we extend the hearing into June 9th because of procedural posting of the meeting to be proper. That way everyone who has an interest in hearing it can attend. And we will do that on June 9th at 6 p.m. at our regularly scheduled meeting.
I second it.
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes. Well, thank you.
My pleasure.
All right, moving on to department updates. We can move on to the road department and maintenance. We have a report from Tim.
Tim was not able to make it tonight. So I'm just going to go down the list he has right here. Would like to approve up to 3 miles of chip and seal for the year in a dollar amount of about $75,000 if funds are available. Fiscal officers, that funding should be available, should be able to do that, correct?
Yes.
So I will make a motion then that we attempt to chip and seal about 3 miles of roads up to $75,000.
Does he have a particular area to target at first?
He does, but he does not have it listed yet. Try to pick out the worst roads that would benefit the most from it. They're still keeping it somewhat of a contained area rather than run it all over the township.
Yeah, I'll second.
I vote yes.
Yes?
Laura? Yes. Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes.
Okay, a reminder, we paved a few town and bandy roads last fall. That part of it's been paid for and everything. There was about $40,000 left over for chip and seal. They weren't able to do it in the fall because of weather. You have to have so many days, so much temperature, and night temperature and all that. That will be done yet this spring when the weather warms up and permits that. That we owe somewhere in the area of $40,000 for that. That was included in the original bid. They just could not complete that part of it last year. That's just an update on that. Our F-450, there's a delay in the starting it. We're pretty sure the neutral safety switch is going out in it. We're going to key everything. I'd like to make a motion that we schedule an appointment at Fairway Ford and take it in and have that corrected, fixed, whatever we need to do. And I do not have a dollar amount since I don't know exactly what it is.
Do we have a top end dollar that we could approve of?
$1,000. We motion.
All right, I'll second it.
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes.
That's kind of all there is on the road department, other than they're continuing to patch as the time permits. Right now it's crunch time, Memorial Day is coming, to spend a lot of time in the cemeteries, so do we want to move on to cemeteries?
Any front loader quotes?
Yeah, we have some, but outrageous. We haven't really thought about moving it forward much yet.
Still looking.
Yeah, I'm still looking.
Tim mentioned to me he wants to rent a Harley rig.
I've got that on here. I was going to bring that up under cemeteries.
Still buildings and grounds.
All right, cemeteries. Again, Memorial Day's coming, we spent a lot of time down there. We would like to rent a Harley rig to do the driveways in all the cemeteries prior to Memorial Day. They've got potholes in them and everything. There was one, the offer to borrow it was made, but I guess it's not available now, so that offer is not a good standing offer. We can rent a Harley rig for about $200 or about $700 for 2 days. No, wait a minute, hold on.
That one's 400.
Yeah, that's 400. I got one line down. We can rent a Harley rig for about $400 for 2 days, which would be enough time to get it done and do some work over the ball field and stuff like that. I would really like to do that unless we can find someone that would loan us a Harley rig or volunteer to do it or something. Other than that, I would like to make a motion that we do rent a Harley rig.
I have an idea for the rig, but we can still vote on this, and if we can get it for free, then great. If not, we'll have it approved.
Okay, so my motion is we rent a Harley rig unless something else becomes available for a 2-day rental of about $400.
I'll second.
I vote yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes?
Tiffany?
Yes.
And we do not have a skid loader in the township. Tim will donate to use of his loader to operate this Harley rig and do the driveways and everything. He'll volunteer to do that with his equipment. The Whitewood building, the old white building down at Deerfield Cemetery is getting in really bad shape. We need to buy a few boards, we need to buy some lumber, we need to buy some paint, we need to buy some caulking to get that up to as best shape as we can. We're estimating about $700. I'm going to ask the Cemetery Association, if we approve this, I'm going to ask the Cemetery Association to reimburse the township for that out of their funding.
They just met Saturday.
Yeah, so that's why I said I'd like to have this done before Memorial Day. We've actually started scraping on it already, and that's why we're finding all this stuff that's bad. I'd like to have it looking good for Memorial Day. That's up to you guys. If we want to do this, we can get it done and looking good and patched up at the best we can.
Do we need paint as well, or do we have some?
We need paint, and that's included in the $700. Paint, caulking, wood, nails, whatever else we would need. We estimate about $700 total.
Do you want to move ahead and vote that we pay for it and hope the cemetery reimburses? Is that what you want?
I'll make the motion that we spend up to $700 on that building, paint, material, things like that, up front, and then I will ask the Cemetery Association at their next meeting if they would reimburse the township for that expense.
I second it.
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes.
Okay, weather permitting, they're going to do the mulching this week at the circle and all the islands and everything up there, getting ready for Memorial Day. We already approved the mulch, it's been picked up, it's at the station out there, they're going to do that. The roof is really close to completion up there. They come up 2 short pieces, about 8 foot long of a trim piece. Everything else is done up there. I think it looks great. There was a little concern when they left the first night. The people that were working were supposed to run a magnet over the parking lot. Apparently someone didn't get the message, they didn't run it. We were actually in Tennessee. I got a phone call. I called Mike Berenger and did that within 20 minutes. He was up there. We had a magnet all over the parking lot, corrected that situation. Let the people that didn't do it know very firmly that they should have done it. So anyway, someone will bring that up. It was addressed almost immediately. It's unfortunate it happened. There were no flat tires because of it, so. Along with that right there, we approved a bid for him to do that in amount of $18,000 and some dollars. In that bid was there an additional charge for any rotted wood or any unforeseen circumstances that came up. We they have pictures they're gonna provide us. I don't have them right now with me. But they did take pictures for rotten wood. There's a lot of rotten wood at the bottom, over the office where it had been leaking, at the top where the peak is, around the pipes where the pipes come up out of there. There was a lot of rotten wood. They tore it out and replaced the wood and everything. That amount is an additional $1,380.
That's pretty standard.
It is pretty standard, and that's why I always argue about going layover of any roof, whether it's shingles or steel or anything. You have no way to know what's underneath that, especially a roof as old as that without it. So I'll make a motion, as agreed upon. We paid Mike Berenger and crew $1,380 additional on top of the bid for unexpected wood repair and replacement.
It was expensive, yes. He'll give us the documentation.
Yes.
For
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Tiffany.
Yes.
Okay, that's taken care of. The well. We talked about the well. The permit is in hand. The driller has the permit in hand. It was approved. Talked to him this morning. He's hoping within 2 weeks he would be out here. 3 weeks at the outside. If he gets into a problem while he's going in between, it could be closer to 3, but he is ready to start. So an additional expense on that, which we talked a little bit about, we would like to underground bore as opposed to digging with our excavator from the front building clear back to the back of the back building, disrupting all that ground, taking a chance of tearing up gas lines, water lines, whatever. It makes a big mess. We came up with a price from underground boring company of $2,750. Including in that, they're going to pull 275 feet of 1.25" SDR tubing and 275 foot of 1.5" conduit. They're going to pull them through, and they're going to provide that piping. The well driller was initially going to provide that if we dug it in an open ditch, so we will get a credit for that from the well driller. He'll credit us money, which will go some money toward that right there. It is an additional expense that we didn't plan on. It's just so nice to underground bore, though, that totally just, we got to go across the driveway. Along with that, there's some gas lines up close to the building. We're not exactly sure where those gas lines are. That's all part of this project. United Earthworks, which is in Deerfield company, they offered to donate hydro excavating work to do that. They will pump water underground, make a mud slurry out of that, and they'll vacuum down out of there. That way, if there's gas lines or electric lines or anything there, it won't destroy those or rip them up or anything.
They can't be adequately marked.
They can't be adequately marked. They're all over up there. When we were doing some other work up there, we have no idea where they're at. But anyway, they're going to donate that work. They will come in and do that for us free of charge if we approve them doing it. They're after saying they will do it. I'm good with that. They're a local company. It's a nice thing that they volunteer to do that. We will have to provide the dirt to backfill and everything there, which isn't a problem. We can do that.
Are they bonded and insured?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're a big company.
What's the name of the company?
United Earthworks is for the hydro excavating. For the underground boring, the company is Haas Brothers Excavating and Directional Drilling. He will provide us with workers' comp and insurance and everything prior to this. If we accept his offer to do this, he will provide all the documentation to us prior to the start of the job, as will United Earthworks. So that expense will unfortunately have to come out of the fire department. Unfortunately, I mean, we don't have to do that. We can excavate it. I would really like to see the hydro excavating done. So that is my motion that we accept that bid of $2,750 with the correction from Marty's pump and well drilling for the material that he was going to do. He'll credit us the dollar amount for that back toward the project. So,
All right, I'll second it.
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes,
Tiffany?
Yes.
and that's all I have.
So we will be picking up flowers Saturday morning for the circle, 10 a.m. If anyone wants to come and help plant flowers, we'll put them around the circle. We've got a new plan not to put them inward because they didn't do well there. And Saturday morning, 10 a.m. If anyone would like to join us.
There's less than last year.
It won't take as long. And it's supposed to rain, so hopefully it won't.
Yeah.
All right, anything else for buildings and grounds from anyone? All right, we'll move on to the fire department. Scott?
For April, we had 33 calls, 22 medicals, 11 fire calls, and year-to-date, we're at 125 calls. It's a busy month for fire calls. Last meeting, you guys approved taking brush 14 to Springers to have the front end alignment. It was there. Wild was there. They found out 3 of the tires had broken belts in them, which rendered them unsafe. So I told them to replace them. We'll be without that truck. So haven't got a bill yet. Have you?
Did you get the invoice for that? Do I have it?
Yes. Laura has it right in front of her,
And that's
in the check.
in the checks, Laura. To
Oh,
your
it's in the
left.
check. 800,
In the power check.
Laura.
it's in
In
the
the
top
check.
checks there, in front of you over there. It was $800 and some for the 4 tires, the alignment, and any other adjustments he did and everything.
And the tires were pretty bad.
What's the name of the company again?
Springer tire, Sebring tire.
Okay.
840.
I'll make a motion that we pay that. We did not approve it prior to this meeting, however, it was an emergency vehicle that was unsafe to drive without the new tires. So I'll make the motion to pay that bill based on that fact.
I'll second it.
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes.
The flyers, Alicia made the flyers look real nice for the Memorial Day parade. So, hope to see everybody there. Lineups at 8 a.m., step offs at 9 a.m. at our station.
8 a.m. and 9 a.m.? Okay.
Do we have arrangements made for traffic to be stopped already? Will you be helping with the lineup, the fire department?
Is the band coming?
Hopefully. We just got the flyers from today, so we're gonna have to be reaching out to them.
Okay.
Do you have access to the van while you're working?
Well, they have a new, well, they have an interim director. You can send it to the school. Yeah, whatever.
Again, thank you guys for the roof on the station. We now gonna, after we make sure it's good, we can get Timmy to look at repairing the wall in there. So I'm just gonna ask him to take a look at it and see what we might need, because I'm not sure what he's gonna find. I don't know if there's rotted wood in there or not. So just waiting, I'm gonna get a hold of Timmy to look at that. Last thing I have is I brought up the last meeting about swearing in 3 new 2 captains, 1 lieutenant. I'd like to proceed with that tonight. 1 captain cannot be here. 1 captain is here, and 1 lieutenant is here. I'd like to, if the prosecutor swear them in tonight.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
He wants you to swear in the captain and the...
I'm here to do
swear
that.
in? Yeah.
I'm ready, willing, able.
Bruce is unable to make it tonight. It's his 35th anniversary, so we had to go.
I understand.
All I can say. Yeah, he wants to make 36. Jimmy and Todd, you guys
Can you tell the residents who the current captains are for each one's EMS and fire?
Yeah.
Can you tell everybody who's there presently?
Yes, presently, right now, we have, on the EMS side of it, we have Captain is Lindsay, and Lieutenant is Kaylee Cole. Derek is the Assistant Chief. Brian Allison is the Captain. And Todd is currently a Lieutenant. We're going to move up to him now.
Todd and Jimmy. Okay. I got something for you. Congratulate you now. There. Cardell. Oh, you got that already done. James Hart. Oh, that's your feedback. Cardell. There you go. And that's what this is right here, so. Add your own name. All right.
His wife wants to hold it.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
It's a great idea. Perfect. So at least you're gonna hold the Bible?
Yes.
I thought you should.
I think so too.
That's a good thing too. Absolutely.
Come on up.
Come on over. You guys know each other? Raise your right hand. Place your left hand on the Bible. I, Todd Bardelli, as Captain of Deerfield Fire Department, swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of Captain of Deerfield Fire Department. I pledge to carry out the duties of Captain to the best of my abilities. I will honor and respect the mission, goals and purposes, and policies of the Deerfield Fire Department. I pledge to promote and protect the best interest of Deerfield Township through fiscal responsibilities, honesty, integrity, and loyalty. I will never let personal feelings nor danger to self deter me from my responsibilities. I will always respect the property and rights of all people, the laws of my country, and members I serve with. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith and trust. I accept so long as I am true to the ethics of the fire service. I accept this self-imposed and self-enforced obligation as my responsibilities, and make these promises so solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Congratulations. Who's that?
I got it out. Yeah.
This is,
There you go.
Mr. Hobbs? Good to meet you. I'm just a holder. Good man. Put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. I, James Hubbs,
I, James Hubbs,
as Lieutenant of the Deerfield Fire Department,
as Lieutenant of the Deerfield Fire Department,
swear that I will support the Constitution
swear that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio.
and I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
I will faithfully and honestly and impartially
discharge the duties of Lieutenant
discharge the duties of Lieutenant
of Deerfield Fire Department.
Deerfield Fire Department.
I pledge to carry out all the duties
I pledge to carry out all the duties
of captain,
of lieutenant,
oh my bad, of lieutenant
of lieutenant,
to the best of my
to the
abilities.
best of my abilities.
I will honor and respect
I will honor and respect
the mission, goals, and purposes
the mission, goals, and purposes,
and policies of the Deerfield Fire Department.
and policies of the Deerfield Fire Department.
I pledge to promote and protect
I pledge to promote and protect
the best interest of the Deerfield Township
the best interest of the Deerfield Township
through fiscal responsibilities,
through fiscal responsibility,
honesty, integrity, and loyalty.
honesty, integrity, and loyalty.
I will never allow personal feelings
I will never allow personal feelings
nor danger to self
nor danger to self
deter me from my responsibilities.
turn me from my responsibilities.
I will always respect the property
I will always respect the property
and rights of all people,
and rights of all people,
the laws of my country,
the laws of my country,
and the members I serve with.
and the members I serve with.
I recognize the badge of my office
I recognize the badge of my office
as a symbol of public faith and trust.
as a symbol of public faith and trust.
I accept so long as I am true
I accept so long as I am true
to the ethics of the fire
to
service.
the ethics of the fire service.
I accept this self-imposed and self-enforced obligation.
I accept the self-imposed and self-imposed
Obligation. As my responsibilities,
as my responsibilities,
and make these promises
to make these promises
so solemnly, freely, and upon my honor.
solemnly, freely, and upon my honor.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCarty.
You're welcome.
Congratulations and thank you to our newly promoted officers.
Thank you.
All right. Anything left for the fire department
No, I
today? I do have an ask, and let me say this right. Captain Bardelli brought it to my attention, a little bit about the parade and the tone for the parade. I don't know if anyone wants to speak of that, because there was some discussion last year after the parade. I don't know if Captain Bardelli or yourself would like to maybe bring that up, just so everybody can know what the goal is and what the fire department has decided.
So last year we went out to move our sirens, we had our lights on. We got some kickback from that, so we should have our sirens on. The reason, if I'm not mistaken, we've always, it's for the people that we've lost, it's not to celebrate the people that are there. So it's our choice to do that. Whoever's behind the fire department wants to make noise, do whatever, that's fine. But we're still gonna honor our fallen, and we're gonna go silent.
Just so everyone has an understanding of why they chose to do that, to keep that solemn and respectful. All right. Anything else from the fire department? Is that all?
I have one quick thing. At the last meeting, the fire department asked for a jump box. We approved that. Zach Ranta said he would donate one. The next day, he donated that. It's worked very well. From my understanding, it's been used at least twice already and everything. So I'd like to personally thank you for about a $500 deal to purchase that and everything. Saved the fire department $500 by donating it.
Very generous, thank you. All right, do we have any old business or new business that we need to bring up today?
Old business, we agreed to hire a guy named Mike Craig, pending his physical and background check. He passed both of those. He had, as soon as we received the paperwork, he's been working. Carl Myers, we requested that he have a physical before he started work. He did take the physical, he did pass it.
Okay.
So he's also been working. Everything's good so far, so that's all I have.
I have a business. I was told that the minutes, as usual, didn't have something in there like a motion or something. And there was no motion made for Buddy to stay on as a previous year. because he was already as a needed basis. So we went through the minutes, which I had already said that we were hiring, or we were keeping him on and just bringing him back as an as-needed basis. That's what Tim asked me. But you, again, with my minutes, said that I didn't have him in there. So you were the one that said yes. And then you told Ed, when he asked you if you wanted, when you asked to make a motion, Ed told you that there was no need for a motion because we don't pay him, only part-time, and we don't pay for his insurance. And you said, Tiffany, sounds good. So I have it right here, I'll make a copy for you.
It was just perfectly
Yeah,
fine.
because it should
We
be-
voted that every person has a physical, so that's what happened.
No, we're
No,
talking
I'm talking
about the layoff situation where
Yeah.
we did not lay him off. I very publicly said, at a time of the year where there's not enough work for everybody, we're bringing a new hire in. So at this point in time, rather than lay Buddy off, I would like to non-schedule Buddy, except for on an as-needed basis. You weren't here. That was one of the meetings you missed, and you missed it, you were sick, whatever, I don't remember.
But I have a little clip if you'd like me to send it to you, just the little clip.
But
of
anyway,
that.
I asked that, and I said, are you okay with that? And he said, fine. Yeah. So that's where we're at. So we did not make a motion to lay Buddy off.
And we had to clarify that, and we did, and he's back working.
Yep, so just,
He had his physical, and everything is fine.
yep. I have nothing else.
All right, so,
The financials. You didn't accept the financials last time because I'm gonna let you know that it was my son-in-law, that Scott, who in his own business hires them, and we did not know. So after the meeting, when we were signing checks, you said about it being my son-in-law, and I knew that afterwards because it was brought to my attention. I do not know what he does in his business.
and you're
And
not
so
the
we-
one who voted for it.
Yes, and we talked to Tom,
I did too.
and yes.
So,
And
but see, it's not against the law to hire a
No, it isn't.
relative.
This is
However,
not.
it is against ethics to not disclose when you're hiring anyone who has a shared interest. That is a conflict of interest. This is right from the Ohio Ethics Board. Any public office has a conflict of interest when his or her ability to be an objective decision maker could be impaired by his or her own interests or the interests of family members or business associates. If there's any conflict of interest or even perceived conflict of interest, that person is to abstain from any conversation, decision-making, or voting. That was not disclosed that we were hiring a family member. And
because it's
ethically,
not
it
Scott's
should,
family member.
but it's a
He had
family
nothing to
member
do
of a person who voted.
And he did not know.
Scott did not ask to
So,
hire that
and-
individual.
and
He
this
asked to hire
actually is-
an IT person to help him with that. As a board, we agreed, yes, go ahead, you need help. We gave him our
But
blessing to
ethically,
hire
you have
someone.
to disclose that it's any member, and it doesn't matter if it's.
I didn't know
Did you,
who we
Scott,
hired.
did you know it was his son-in-law?
At the time when we hired, I didn't have anybody, I got 3 quotes.
So that has to be disclosed ethically. It doesn't mean that we can't hire a family member. It means that the person who's related to them can have nothing to do with that conversation. It is a conflict of interest.
And had we known up front that that is who he was
And
gonna hire,
it
he
is my
didn't
right
know,
as a
I
trustee
would
to
have
look
not
at
voted
any
on that.
minutes and see who we're paying. That's my responsibility to make sure that.
Yeah, but
we're
you were
doing
snarky
our
about it,
ethics.
you tried bullying me like you always do, Tiffany.
I think you're the one who's being snarky now, but I'm not gonna
I am
argue with you. But it's my job, whether you like it or not, to make sure that taxpayers' money is being spent ethically. And we shouldn't be hiring family members to do things without a board vote.
And
that
again,
is
the bottom line is, we did not know at that meeting who he was gonna hire, nor did he.
Well,
Or if I would have known
there's no
that.
way to prove
I
that,
absolutely would, yeah, he asked if he could hire someone, no
but
name was brought
anytime you
up.
hire anyone and you're paying with taxpayers' money
you're
and it's a
100%
family
right.
member, you have to disclose that and it
However,
needs to be
we as a
ethically
board did not
done.
hire him, and we did not know as a board.
We did hire him, we voted yes to hire him.
We did hire someone.
Yes, but then that
Hire
someone turned out to
someone.
be
We did not
someone who
know.
was related.
Had I known, I would not have ever voted on that.
So
I
that's
would
something
not
that's
voted
really,
on it.
I don't care who gets angry, that's unethical.
I'm not angry,
Oh,
I'm just telling you,
nobody's
had
angry. We're just
we
letting you
known
know.
Well, I'm
who
letting
he
you
was
know
gonna
that
hire.
it's
And he
unethical,
will
it's
not
against
work
the rules.
again. It just was something that we didn't know. That's who Scott uses for his business, and when I found out about it, when I wrote the check. So that's when I found out.
When I was elected and campaigned, I said I would be transparent, I would be honest, and I want everyone to know where our money goes.
Except that there was no violation because we did not know when we approved that he was gonna hire him. Again, I would not have ever voted for it had I known that.
Well, and that does go for employees too, not just any employee of the government also cannot hire anyone who has benefit with someone who has voting privileges. You can't do it, it's unethical. I appreciate that they did it and they fixed it, but we should have had that discussion.
And had we known
Then you
up
should
front,
have
we would have
abstained.
definitely had that discussion.
So-
Absolutely would have had the discussion. And it probably wouldn't have happened,
So going forward.
plain and simple.
But I mean, you knew who it was when you hired him to do it.
But it was afterwards. Like I
But
said,
it's still, we still voted on it, so you
you guys
can't,
already voted for me to hire somebody before I.
right. But we can't just still say, let's hire someone to do this and bring in a family member or a business that we're associated with. It's unethical. So, moving forward, we can't change what happened, but moving forward, that any kind of even perceived conflict of interest needs to be disclosed.
Fair enough.
All right. Anything else? Thank you.
No, not for you.
Oh,
Just get it wrapped up, everybody.
Sure. Any other public commentary?
Nobody else signed up.
All right, so I will move that we adjourn the meeting and pay our bills.
Second.
Yes.
Lauren? Yes. Ed?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I will sign these in the morning.
Thank you.